Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Island hopping. Getting there is half the fun. I'm going to take you along on this trip we took in the last couple days from Mactan Island over to Gilutongan Island over near Olongo Island and let you in on some of the differences in different island hopping trips, what you can expect. I'll also show you a little bit about the resort we stayed in overnight. Anyway, island hopping, and you generally go out in one of these bangka boats. Bankas, I've seen it spelled and pronounced different ways, but anyway, these outrigger boats, bangka boats, and you can rent one by yourself, by your group, or you can get in another group, and they can. Island hopping can mean many different things. In our case, we went to an area and we did some scuba diving off of one island. These are some of my friends that I went along with. And get a picture of the whole group here. The guy in the back, chiropractor here in town. He's the one who had the contact with the resort. And anyway, you need to get to the pier, of course, where the boat is. And you can take a taxi, you can take a tricycle, motorbike, rent a car, van, whatever you need to do to get there. This is some of the gear that we are bringing with us. And we did not do any scuba diving, but we had some scuba diving tanks with us. You want to be sure you understand what you are buying, what kind of package you're buying into. Are they supplying food, for instance? How long is it going to be? How many hours you're going to be out there? A lot of times, and in our case, they supplied the food, and the guy that arranged this, the resort owner, arranged for the food and everything to be taken along. So we had lunch and snacks. Throughout the day, about 5.5 hours, I think 6 hours. I think we had about 16 people with us. Here you got a kid selling little floaties, I guess. And this isn't our boat, but we're going to use this boat to walk into and across and onto another boat, which is our boat. And pretty steep steps here, so you do want to be careful. And they've got guys that'll help you there, and if this is the first time you get a look at a bangka boat, this is what it is. You basically have, they come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and you've got seating generally along the sides, and covering to protect you from the sun, much of the time anyway, depending upon. Your island hopping could mean that you are indeed, you're going to visit many different small islands. You're actually going to land on the island. In our case, we did not. We stayed on the boat and we scuba dived off the boat. Couple different spots, could have been 2 or 3 spots. We stopped at 2 different spots because each spot, not very far from each other, has different type of fish. So it was getting to be a long day. We were gonna, originally it was gonna be 3 stops, I think, but we only stopped twice, which was, I think we were all pretty tired out by the time we did that. About an hour at the first place, and then we just a little ways to the next area, and it was in a marine sanctuary just off of that island. I'll show you a map later on. But your island hopping could include stopping actually at several islands, getting out on a beach type area, having the food laid out, prepared for you there. There again, be sure you understand. Are you supposed to bring your own food, or is the tour operator, whatever you would call them, the boat owner, operator, is the package include food for everybody? Does it include scuba gear for everybody? In our case, it did. It's kind of a package deal. Or do you have to bring your own? You need to find out those things ahead of time. All the little details. They brought water, they brought food, they brought, in fact, we all tried on our life vests, our face masks, snorkels, fins, before we got over there. The sea was very calm today, so wasn't was very easy, but still a little bit tricky. Still a little bit tricky. Walking the plank, walking from one boat onto the next boat was moving around just a little bit. So you can imagine what it is would be like if you had some heavy waves in there. Love the crystal clear water in most areas of the Philippines, and you'll get a glimpse at that. And as we snorkel, I'll show you a little bit about the fish as we go down as well. And just amazing how clear the water is. Several boats, some going to Olongo Island, some doing island hopping. This is the motor, I think big diesel down in there. Now some boats, I've been on a couple boats that have two motors in case one quits, and I had that happen one time. One quit on a small boat and he had a second little motor. A lot of these things do have a toilet, a CR, a bathroom, enough to get you by. Generally they use a pole to push them off, get them out a little ways away from shore, and that's where they would start their engines up. You'll find that many of the resorts, this is on Mactan Island, many of the resorts in fact will offer many different types of activities, from skidoos to island hopping to parasailing. Is that what they call it? The boat pulls you and you take a little bit of a sail up into the air behind the boat. Various activities that you can get. Banana boat, got a banana shaped boat you ride on, they pull it around and jerk it around. And I've heard that, well, they've got scuba diving, a lot of scuba diving shop. And we actually stayed at a Korean resort. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Korean, and his guests are all Korean except us. My chiropractor friend had treated this fella, and he invited a bunch of us over to stay there. And he tells me they're probably about 25% of what they were pre-pandemic. Look at that clear water, just amazing. They're hoping by high season to be hopefully around 50%. High season, November, December, January, February primarily, and March, and hopefully by this time next year, closer to 100%. But it really depends on the Philippines. They've got a great opportunity here to open up without restrictions, as many other countries are. And what they'll find is if they don't open up without restrictions, a lot of those people are going to go to other countries. They're going to be comfortable visiting other countries. Anyway, I tried two different kind of masks, and my friends had a couple of these full face masks, and I've got a little bit of facial hair, so the regular mask did not fit me, and I kept getting water into my mask. So this worked much better for me. A little bit of look around. A lot of fish. Different places we stopped, different types of fish. A lot of coral down there. On this side of the island, the coral was not damaged very much at all from Typhoon Odette in December. On the other side of the island, it was damaged quite badly, is what this fellow said. Anyway, a few large schools of fish. Had one fish a couple fish kind of follow me around in circles. I tried this one here, a couple of them. I kept turning around and it kept going around. Give me a selfie, it said. I want to be on the camera. Saw a few larger fish and did not get many of those on. They were a little more fearful, I guess. Did not get many of those on the camera. They've got longer, skinny, long, what they call pipe fish here. Not quite sure what the technical name is, but anyway, I've got a life vest on. I'm floating on top. And where the boat stops, there is on the right side is the deep side, goes off to the deep side. And on the left side is the more shallow side, maybe 2 meters, varies quite a bit. 1 meter to 2 meters. And got a crew. I think we had about 16 people, including the crew, on this. Oh, and don't forget the sunblock. A couple of people got really burned bad out there, so you get reflection. And yeah, part of the bangka boat crew here. Anyway, just a really good time. Good time. Take your time, relax. And here's that full face. This is how it fits. It worked well for me. Some people don't like it. LGB Dive Center. Interesting Korean fella and his Filipino wife. And they, we stayed overnight at 3 rooms up here and look at the rooms. Interesting guy. He supplies many of the dive shops on Mactan Island with equipment. He's got I think over 1,000 dive tanks, and he has all the gear, the masks, the fins, the wetsuits, and all that sort of thing. And he delivers them to a large number of the dive centers there. But there again, they are exclusively Korean and cater to the Korean. So I know I've got a few Korean fans out there. Pass the information along. LGB is the name of the dive center. I'll see if I can find a link and put it in the description. The little things that count. They thought about everything. Very comfortable room, very comfortable mattress. It was quiet. Air conditioner worked very well, in fact too well. I had to raise the temperature. Very nice shower area, soap in the shower and outside. A lot of little things that a lot of resorts don't have. So he did a very good, he and his wife did a very good job on equipping this place for comfort of their guests. We had a Korean style dinner there. I'll show you a little bit about that. So I learned a little more about Korean style foods, and I eat kimchi occasionally. Try not to get the really hot stuff, really spicy, but it is extraordinarily healthy for you. And we did not have no television, but who's going to watch television? They did have Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi. I used my own data, so I'm not sure how fast it was, but I was told it was pretty good. And a desk there, a little refrigerator, had some water, and I think a couple sodas in it. There again, comfortable beds. I think all the rooms are the same, pretty much. Got a fan, got the emergency lights up there, and that's something you rarely find. And nice pool. The deeper end is for training, teaching diving, and then they've got a restaurant as well. And I'll show you the meal that we had laid out, Korean barbecue style, and a couple of microwaves, really nice coffee makers, so you could have Americano or various types of coffee and tea, sodas and beer. Well, he did have a fair amount of damage from Super Typhoon Odette, December of 2021, and so he had to repair that. Very nice setup. And there again, he I think 3 different toasters there, so people can fix their toast in the morning. And here's our deal. You got the grill, barbecue grill there, and laid out with the pork belly, I guess it's called, and all the fixings. And here we are getting set, trying on our vests and our fins and all that type of stuff before we head out to make sure everything fits. There are several islands you can island hop to, and lots of options. Anyway, I'll show you the one on the map that we went to now. So going over to Google Maps, we went from Cebu City over here, and we went south. And to get on the new bridge down here, you have to go down here and do a U-turn down somewhere down here, and then come back, cross the bridge over, and all these place markers getting in my way here. I don't think they have this bridge marker accurate. I think we came in over here someplace and went up here, crossed over here, and we didn't go to Plantation Bay, but we went to a pier very near Plantation Bay, where we got on the bangka boat and headed over here to Gilutongan Island, something like that. I think it used to be spelled with an H, and they've got a marine sanctuary here as well. And here you got Mactan Island, and you've got Olongo Island. Thanks for watching. See you next time.